So immediate reaction, Jake Paul facing off against Andrew Tate is not something that I thought we'll be seeing so soon. The clip does raise a lot of questions, and I'm gonna start off with the most obvious and important one, which is what in the fuck are those? What the hell? For some reason, the blind man in between decided to show up wearing his favorite SpongeBob shoes.
Oh my god!
He looks like a high school student that's been repeating the same grade for 26 years. His hairline is still in primary school though. You know, I might just make this video all about ridiculing the one guy in the clip that has nothing to do with the topic. It's hard to say who would win. It's even harder to say who I would be rooting for. It's sort of like, it's like choosing between whether you want to drink piss or eat shit. Regardless, you're not really making a good decision. I think realistically, the odds are definitely in favor of Jake. It's hard to think that Tate has been focusing on training as much as Jake, considering that Jake has actually had many recent fights. Plus the fact that Andrew Tate is a lot more familiar with kickboxing and not boxing. And also Tate is about like a decade older, which is technically an improvement for Jake because Anderson Silva was like 22 years older. But you never know. I mean, we haven't really gotten a fight date, so Jake may consider waiting for Andrew Tate to start dying from old age. But I don't think the age gap is going to be as much of an issue for Andrew Tate as the fact that, you know, Jake has had more recent fights, so he's probably been training relentlessly, you know, just totally focused on improving his boxing skills and knowledge for the past 2 years. And it's been a while since Tate has had like a real tough fight, which this will definitely be one for him. I mean, it'll be tough for both, to be fair, because again, this is pretty much the first time that Jake has fought somebody that isn't old enough to be his dad. And of course, since Andrew is a kickboxer and not, you know, some sort of an MMA fighter, he's definitely going to be like a lot more experienced in striking than say Ben Askren or Tyron Woodley. You guys let me know who you think is going to win. I'm definitely going to be rooting for Andrew, but I don't see him winning. I don't know why. One thing for sure is that this fight is very good for Jake, because if he wins, then he just beat Andrew Tate. I mean, this would carry some serious risk to Andrew Tate's reputation. So yeah, the odds are definitely against Andrew, but in terms of like spectacular victory, if Jake Paul loses, then it is still a loss, but it's not going to be as bad for Andrew if he loses to Jake, because that is the biggest possible L that anybody could hold, especially if you're Andrew Tate losing to Jake. That is fucking bad.